Does your exhaust sound bad like mine does? Then you probably have a Dcsport header just like I do on the RSX here. Now, they are pretty affordable, which is great for people like me and you to be able to get a little bit more performance out of our K series because they just really love to breathe. But they have notoriously bad problems with their flex pipes. So hopefully today we're going to remedy that issue. Now, full disclosure here, you guys, flex pipes are really important. I'm going to be getting rid of mine and seeing how the car performs, so that way you guys don't have to. A lot of guys will replace their flex pipes with another flex pipe. The only problem with that is that I'm trying to get this done really quickly and I'm having issues finding the correct size flex pipe because the one that they put in here from Dcsport is pretty small. You need to find yourself a flex pipe that is about 3 to 4 inches wide and get that welded in. But the outside diameter of the Dcsport headers for the RSX are 2.45. From O2 to O2 bung, it's 6 1/4 inches. So that's some pretty decent information for you guys to have. But for me, I am just going to cut about 6 inches out of this pipe right here, weld that in, and we're gonna see what happens. Now, like I said before, flex pipes are very important because with front wheel drive engines in particular, when they rev, they rock forward. So they put that flex pipe in there so that way when the engine is revved and it rocks forward, it gives the rest of the exhaust some play. But in my case, I have got solid engine mounts, so whenever my car is revving, my engine doesn't really move all that much. So I'm gonna bite the bullet and put in just a complete straight pipe where the flex pipe should be, and we're just gonna see what happens.
Once you have the car jacked up and safely on jack stands, you're going to want to get under the car with a measuring tape and measure the section of the exhaust that you need to cut out. The reason for this is that you're going to need an accurate reference for the new pipe that you're going to be hand cutting.
So now that we have our measurement, it would be ideal to be able to cut this with a bandsaw or something similar to get a straight and accurate cut, but the best I can do is my hacksaw. So you want to get a Sharpie and your measure, and you want to measure out exactly how far that you need to cut the exhaust. And it would be really beneficial if you had like some type of round cylindrical object like a donut gasket or a exhaust clamp, so that way you can get a perfectly accurate measurement around the entire thing. You can also take your measuring tape, walk across the outside of the exhaust and make a mark every few inches, and that'll help you keep your saw straight.
Always remember, measure twice and cut once. We don't want to have to do this again. Luckily, we have a lot of extra pipe to work with, so any mistakes that I make, we can both learn from it. Once we have that taken care of, we're going to be removing the header completely and bringing it over to the workbench. Once we got the flange section of the exhaust cut off, we had to move on to the section before the flex pipe. Unfortunately, this section is much thicker than the rest of the header because it is where the flex pipe actually joins the rest of the exhaust. Like most things in life, there is more than one way to skin a cat. We break out the grinder to finish off the rest of the cutting. I didn't want to use the grinder before because I was afraid it would not be able to make a straight enough cut, but I am pleased with the results that we got. We finished cutting the flex pipe off the header and we mount the header and the flange back up to the car. This gives us a really good idea on what it's going to look like when it's finished.
I was really stupid. He's saying something that could possibly leak and make a lot of noise.
After discussing it with Shane, we come up with a couple of ideas and we get to welding. I failed to mention at the beginning of the video that another tool that you'll be needing for this job is some friendship currency. Friendship currency is when you have friends that can help you that cost a particular rate, whether it be other favors, food, or just being there when they need you. In my case, my good friend Shane was able to come and help me with this. He is a very practiced welder and does it for a living. I told him, of course, that I didn't want this to look pretty, I just wanted it to be functional and strong. Of course, if you do not own a welder or know a friend that has one, you will need to take your car to an exhaust shop to get this job done. Most exhaust shops are used to this type of work and it shouldn't cost very much for you to get this done. Oftentimes, they can actually source the correct flex pipe for your application as well. With the new pipe tacked in place, we pull the header back off of the car so we can get a complete weld around the new section. At first glance, I am over the moon at the way this looks. I am positive that it's going to sound so much better once we are finished. With the most difficult part of this job coming to an end, I feel like it's time to come clean about something that I've been hiding. I'm trying to get all this done before the meet tonight. When you really want to go to the meet at some point tonight, but race car is life. Hey guys, I just checked my mail and I got a package today from the Velocity shop, which is not a package I was supposed to get until Monday, but we got it today. So you guys are going to see this in a video tomorrow, or I'm going to film it tomorrow. But yeah, these are going to be awesome. Just a quick sneak peek. You guys probably know, but this box looks pretty cool. With the flex pipe cut out and the new section welded onto the header, it's time to reinstall everything and get this car back on the road. This header has leaked on the car since the day I installed it. Yes, I got it secondhand from a friend of mine, but I've always hated the way that it sounded. My desire for performance overshadowed my hate for the sound of the exhaust. But now that we've got this new section welded in, I'm sure it's going to sound much better. Like I said earlier, I knew of the negative effects of taking out the flex pipe. Manufacturers put in a flex pipe into the exhaust to help mitigate undue stress onto front-wheel drive cars. As most of you know, rear-wheel drive cars do not need flex pipes, and that's because of the way they are mounted inside the engine bay. With a front-wheel drive car, the engine torquing forward can cause undue stress onto the rest of the exhaust. It can cause breakage in some areas. Understanding these negatives, I am ready to face whatever consequences may come in the future. I am confident in my engine mounts and the rest of my car that the exhaust will not be harmed from doing this modification, but only time will actually tell. All right, you
guys, so we got the downpipe bolted back up where the catalytic converter used to be, and we've got the headers, all the nuts and bolts holding it on. We've got them torqued back down, good to go. And I would highly recommend you get new gaskets before you do something like this. I couldn't. And if there's an issue with the car, then it can sit in here until Monday. It's no big deal. So I can get new gaskets and do all that myself. But fingers crossed, this is going to sound way better. There's no oxygen sensors, dude.
That ain't no oxygen sensors.
We got to put the oxygen sensors. We let the car down and everything. And I was like, what is that noise? Okay, put the oxygen sensors back in too. That'll help.
I'm glad you thought that. I've been sitting here for hours trying to figure that out.
I was like, oh, we forgot to do that. Hand me that ratchet real quick. Would have been a hell of a lot easier to put these on with the before we put the exhaust back in the car, but you know what? Live and learn.
And he pulls out a sponge thing, WD-40, and sprays it on there to get the cap off.
Damn it, Bobby. Taste the meat, not the heat.
Oh, damn it, if those kids could read, they'd be really upset right now.
If those kids could read. Like right here. It sounds so much better, man.
Yeah, you got to go.
What?
You got to go.
Oh, it's because we've been like touching it. It's fine. It'll go away in a minute. I've got like grease on my hands. Exhaust is smoky just a little bit. That'll go away. Yeah, that's not exhaust. That's just the grease burning off of it. No, it's fixed, dude. It sounds great. Now all the exhaust is coming out the back. Sweet. Time to go to the meat. Woohoo! Oh my God, look! It idled down.
Oh, did it not do that before?
No, well, I mean, it would, but it like when it idled down, it'd sound even worse because it's not so high.
Oh, yeah.
So it would just be like,
Jumping it out.
yeah, dude. That is it. You guys, this sounds so much freaking better. Like it's insane how much better this sounds. It's so much cleaner. Like, oh my God, I should have done this so long ago. And it really, I mean, I know I look awful. I know I do, but like, I should have done this so long ago. Cause like, I've just been living with that noise for a while now. It sounds so much, it sounds like it did whenever I had the factory exhaust on here. I mean, it's got a little bit more of a tune to it, just a little bit better tone than like factory exhaust with the long tube headers and everything. But man, it sounds so much freaking better now. I'm stoked. I'm super duper happy about it. So I didn't get a chance to wash my car, but we'll be able to go to the meet with my car sounding so much better. I think we're good.